Hello everyone, and welcome to today's Daily Splat. Now I know I've been absent again, but I've been rather busy lately, so my apologies, but it is the first day of September, so I figured it's best to get at least one a month under the belt if I can. Today's video really is just more in reaction to the transfer window. Yes, it's another football video, get over it. So, basically, yesterday was the deadline day, and wowzers, there were a lot of transfers going through. Where to begin? Well, Arsenal, they're first alphabetically, and they were busy. You know, after getting that 8-2 thumping by Manchester United, hooray! It seems to have sparked them into life, and now they've gone out and bought a load of players. Now, admittedly, you could say that Park Ji-young was already on his way, and the same could be said for Santos, the left-back, but Per Mertesacker was signed up, and I think that's a brilliant signing, by the way, for £9 million, reportedly. That's a brilliant price. I'd say he's a better defender than Gary Cahill, he's better than Christopher Samba, he's better than Phil Jagielka, you know, I'd say he's better than all three of them, and, with the possible exception of Samba, cheaper. And Samba, he might have cost more as well. So I think Wenger's actually done a really good bit of business there. The other signings, of course, Mikel Arteta. They definitely needed somebody to come into that midfield and replace the creative Spaniard that was Fabregas. So get another creative Spaniard in. Arteta, although he's had a couple of injury problems lately and isn't exactly the youngster that Wenger normally likes to sign, is coming to steady the ship, and I think it's a good signing. Yossi Benayoun also, not exactly what you'd expect of an Arsene Wenger signing, as he is the wrong side of 30. I think that could prove to be quite a good move. He can play centrally or out wide. He's probably better out wide, but still, it brings in a bit of experience to the team. And he had a fairly good record during his time at Liverpool as well, so he may well get a good go of it. So some good signings there. Manchester City made one signing, the free transfer of it was a free transfer. Owen Hargreaves, formerly of Bayern Munich and Manchester United, released by United in May after playing only 5 games over the last 3 seasons due to a terrible injury record. He's proven his fitness with a little video out on the internet, and now City have snapped him up on a 1-year pay-as-you-play contract deal. I think this is a good move for all concerned. For City, I mean, it's not going to cost them a lot by the sounds of it, and it is only for the season. He also replaces the role left by Patrick Vieira, which is just somebody with a lot of experience in that sort of central midfield role that they can bring off the bench or play in League Cup games or things of that nature. So, and also if he doesn't play that much, well, it's pay as you play. So, it's they're hardly losing money, and losing money isn't even that big a concern to City, really. For Hargreaves, it's a fantastic move for him, just because he's moved to a club that's not only in the Premier League, but it's in European competition as well, which is I'm sure more than he would have hoped for when initially at the start of the window he's been linked with the likes of West Bromwich Albion, and that's no slight on West Brom. It was just that nobody thought one of the top clubs would take him on, and as much as I a United fan and therefore don't really like City that much, I do wish Owen Hargreaves the best, because I thought he was a very good player that season that he played for United, where he was fit, and I honestly felt quite bad for him with his injury record, and I wish him all the best, but not any trophies. Hopefully he'll play. Looking at the other clubs, Liverpool, they brought in Sebastian Coates, or Coates as people have been calling him, but it is Coates, the Uruguayan defender. He was brought in the day before the final day, but he's in that period of late transfers. Their late day transfer, the last day transfer, was Craig Bellamy, formerly of Liverpool, now playing for them, having come from Manchester City. Didn't cost them a transfer fee, although they do have to pay his large wages. It's not really it's no big loss, I'd say, for Liverpool. I think Bellamy is a good player to have bringing in. He can either play on the wing if Downing's not available, or he can replace Suarez or Carroll off the bench. He's a good attacking player, and it's not a bad option to have. Certainly he was very good for City a couple of seasons ago, and could well be good again for the Anfield club. They did lose Raul Meireles, though. He has gone to Chelsea. Now, that's a very interesting one. Apparently, he was signed in the final minutes of the window. Obviously, Luka Modric wasn't coming to Chelsea, so they decided we need somebody else. They went for Meireles, and it makes sense when you think about it. Initially, I was quite surprised, going, he's left, but he was good. And then I thought, but if you think about it, they've brought in quite a lot of central midfielders. You know, they've brought in Charlie Adam and Henderson, and they're going to be competing with the likes of Gerrard and Lucas, and on occasion Dirk Kuyt for that central midfield role. And you've got what's his face, Jay Spearing as well. So Meireles, also he wasn't starting. With these new signings, perhaps he thought he wasn't going to get so many appearances. And he's reunited with Andreas Villas-Boas, the manager who sold him to Liverpool. So will be interesting, but I think he's a very important signing for Chelsea, because Chelsea, the middle of their midfield, was looking a little weak. Obviously no Essien for 6 months. The fact is their midfield three at the moment is Lampard, Mikel and Ramirez. Lampard's good, but he's getting on. Ramirez has improved, I think, from last season, but he's no world beater, and Mikel is John Obi Mikel. He's okay, but he's not brilliant, you know. So I think it's a really good signing for Chelsea, even just if it's for filling up the squad a bit. Okay, so that was Chelsea. Manchester United didn't sign anyone. No last-minute Wesley Sneijder arrival. Sorry, that's how you pronounce it. No last-minute Wesley Sneijder arrival, which was, I think United have started well enough that you couldn't really have justified bringing anyone in. Of them, maybe Sneijder. But anyway, that's beyond the point. Other clubs, people who signed players. Obviously, Queen's Park Rangers brought in Sean Wright-Phillips on the last day, looking like a very promising signing there. Could be very important for keeping them up. He hasn't played that much recently, but he's got great experience of Premier League football, having played for City and Chelsea, and he should be nailing down first team position for the first time in a long while. So good luck to Sean Wright-Phillips over at QPR. Stoke were very busy on the final day. Peter Crouch, Wilson Palacios, both of them moving from Spurs over to Stoke. They also got Cameron Jerome in to play up front with him. Very promising stuff. Good transfer window for Stoke, because they also got Upson and Woodgate, who are two very good defenders as well. So I think Stoke have really improved their squad, and they're looking like quite a competitive Premier League team. I don't think there's any relegation concerns for them at the moment, unless something goes terribly wrong. Who else? Everton, obviously very disappointing transfer window, with Arteta going, not being able to sign one. Yakubu's also gone, and Beckford, which I thought was a real surprise that he went. But they have managed to bring in a couple of players on loan. Royston Drenthe from Real Madrid could possibly work on the wing, and the fellow up front with the really long last name remains to be seen if he's any good. But a very disappointing transfer window for Everton. And I'm trying to remember who else. Aston Villa brought in Alan Hutton from Tottenham. They also got Jermaine Genius, if I'm remembering that correct. So good bolstering of the squad, but I think Aston Villa will be disappointed that they haven't been able to really sufficiently replace the loss of Young and Downing. And Zogby is good. You know, he could play well for them, but I don't think it's going to be enough. Okay. No, can't remember any of us. Sorry about that. That was it. Scott Parker going to Tottenham. I think that's going to be a very good move for Tottenham as well. He's a pretty good midfielder, and I think he'll suit Spurs just nicely. Okay, that is it for our talk of the deadline day transfers, even though Fulham signed Brian Ruiz, as I'm just remembering, or believe they did. That one could prove to be good. Anyway, I like to keep these videos to 10 minutes or under, so I'm going to finish it there. Thank you for watching. I'm already starting to regret saying Arsenal finished second in the prediction videos before, because, I mean, they still could. It's early days, but it's not looking likely at the moment. Anyway, that's all I've got to say on the matter. Thank you all very much for watching this, and I'll speak to you all soon. Until then, bye-bye.